Hi gang, Mikey D here, and if I were king, I would fire another king, Kevin, the second most powerful official in St. Pete, or force him to unseal his criminal file to prove his innocence. Here's the deal. 16 years ago, King, who many of you know is the chief of staff for St. Pete Mayor Rick Kreisman, was arrested when he was a substitute teacher for sending emails and messages on the internet to two female students who were 14 and 15. He was charged with lewd and lascivious behavior because police said he asked the 14-year-old to perform a sex act. Now, King was not convicted, but somehow he was able to get the judge to seal the file, so we will never know if it was because the witnesses refused to testify, he was innocent, or something else. However, he was fired as a substitute teacher. Now, while some of the mayor's supporters say King's problems are not relevant, and they blasted Rick Baker for running a campaign ad questioning Kreisman for standing by King, many of these are the same people who rightfully say Roy Moore is not qualified to run for the U.S. Senate because 9 women accuse Moore of sexual misconduct when he was in his 30s and they were teenagers, including a 14-year-old who says Moore inappropriately touched her. Now think of the juxtaposition. Moore is accused of using his authority position as the district attorney to target teenagers. King was accused of using his authority position as a teacher to target young girls. Moore's actions occurred 30 years ago, but they are still inexcusable and should disqualify him for any public office. King's actions occurred 16 years ago, but his supporters, including the mayor, suggest it was a long time ago and shouldn't be held against him. Moore was banned from going to a mall because he was allegedly targeting teenage girls. King was arrested and fired because he was allegedly targeting teenage girls. Whether you are a supporter of the mayor or not, we should all hope for the sake of St. Petersburg that Kreisman is successful in his second term and that he's learned from his mistakes that made several people who shared his socially progressive views, including me, question if he deserved a second term. And despite the fact one of his first acts in his second term was firing a city engineer who said the mayor was a bully, Kreisman can go a long way to showing he is going to be different by sacking his longtime ally. And if you don't agree, you are not allowed to say another word about Roy Moore, who I believe is one of the lowest of low politicians we have ever seen. And that's why, if I were king, I would fire Kevin King or force him to unseal his criminal file to prove his innocence. I'm Mike Deason.